Welcome back to Soccer Cards United. It's episode 246 of the greatest soccer card podcast in the world. My name is Jason. That's Enzo. Hello, Enzo.
Hello, Jason. Look at you.
Look at me. I'm, for those of you who are watching the video feed, I am halfway through a little construction project here behind me. People will know the kind of low grey shelving that I've had. Like, I made the whole kind of studio look drab for a long time.
Yeah.
I've replaced those with these bookshelves, and
Looks brilliant. I see, like, I don't know if that's like a level there, the yellow thing, the measuring tape.
that's
maybe?
the yellow thing's a measuring tape, yeah.
And I
And then
see
beside the measuring tape, you can see some like kind of like
screws
fixed,
and bolts.
like, that's right.
Up there, I see a screwdriver and a hammer. Or is that just a hammer?
No, it's a hammer and a screwdriver, yeah.
Jason, yeah, don't kill yourself.
So one down, one to go. I thought I was buying flat pack bookshelves,
Right.
but they've stretched the definition of flat pack to include lots of stuff that I wouldn't consider. Like, you know, I'm just building the bookshelf. Like, they have me like.
Are you putting books in it?
I think here's my big plan.
Okay.
One of them will be books and other kind of like personal stuff, personal effects. And then the other will be mostly card related.
Wow. Which you wouldn't classify as personal.
Well, I suppose some of my personal collection will be there, but like, you know, some other stuff will be there.
Do I need to do a little handover here with some of your little Irish PC cards that I have in my possession here?
Maybe. I don't know. Because like some stuff will get lost, I think, on that shelf.
Well,
I think maybe just... Huh?
We'll figure it. You'll figure it out. You'll tell me. Because like I have that beautiful 101 Evan Ferguson Super Factory.
Yeah. Some card stands maybe, I think, at the front of the front.
Yeah, we have
a
few of them. We might need to get more, but we'll look into that. Yeah, no, that's good. Jason, delighted for you.
Okay, great. Nice, so for all those people out there who have been going on, banging on and on about change the background, we're working on it. We're always working.
That's why you're showing them kind of part of it. It's not just finished. It's like this is effort. This is work.
Yeah. Brilliant. I'm negotiating with the YouTube commenters.
Well, that just shows we take people's feedback on board.
Yeah. And when we don't do things, you know, it's not because we don't want to do them. It's just sometimes these things take a bit of time. You know, bit of time.
That's right.
Okay. Anyway, very exciting finish to the. Well, actually, I don't know if exciting is the right word because most of the results at the top end didn't change that much. But the Golden September Elite auction finished.
Yes.
Since our last podcast, and there was a lot of soccer interest in that auction. I was going to give you the filtered soccer results for the auction, but I thought it might as well just show the whole auction results, just so that if people are watching along, they can kind of see some of the results for other sports and contextualize
what they're seeing.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's like, well, how much does whatever. So, so here you go. So, lot number one, just to get it off the thing. Lot number one was a LeBron James RPA, an upper deck. 2004, 2005, Logo Man signature, and that went for $854,000.
Crazy.
So that'll give you kind of like, that's where the upper limit is on this auction. So here we go. Where's the first? We hit the first soccer result. Okay, so just very quickly, Paul Skeens is one of the most exciting baseball players around. Everyone loves him. His Bowman Super Factor auto. And then PSA 7 with an auto 10 went for $123,000.
Right.
Top baseball prospect.
That's a Bowman first, which is very important apparently.
And now he is a pitcher, but whatever, right?
Can we look at the Mickey Mantle?
The Mickey Mantle. Holy smokes.
An SGC 5.
The Mickey Mantle. Yeah, wow.
It's in the top 15% of Mickey Mantles, I suppose.
Yeah, that's $134,000.
Right.
Then, just below that, so for $12,000 less than the Mickey Mantle SGC 5, which is in the top 15% of the Mickey Mantle pop, is the 1/1 Lamine Yamal Chrome Super Factor Auto. $122,000.
And to fully bring this together as well, it's right beside it is the OPG Oilers Wayne Gretzky rookie in a PSA 9 copy in the same price. So soccer is very much like Lamine Yamal in that what's around him, literally and figuratively and everything, is completely in line with the kind of madness of the high side of the hobby.
Competing with, the Paul Skeens, competing with Wayne Gretzky PSA 9, competing with a Mickey Mantle SGC 5. This is a big, big, big sale. One thing I wanted to say to you, Enzo, was this number this kind of finishing bid was kind of put in very early in the process.
Yes.
Like we didn't see a lot of action at the end. Does that tell us anything significant about the card, or does it just tell us people who knew what they wanted it? And
I'll tell you this, Jason, that you might not have seen. The person who lost out on the second place of this auction, we know who it was.
Oh, yeah, I did see this. Yes.
Well, there you go. It's a high-end collector, Jeff.Crypto Cards.
Yeah.
So he's normally a big F1 guy, but he's, I believe, an Arsenal fan too. So he's in soccer as well. So soccer and F1. Not sure if he collects anything else, but he had thrown in a $95,000 bid, I believe, on this. That's
just throwing it, just casually, loop one in,
and that's before the buyer's premium. So it was basically the second highest bid. So he would have thrown, like, he basically, whatever, maybe he was busy or whatever, he just threw in. He said, "This is my upper limit," threw it in. Someone else obviously did the same thing. This is my upper limit, threw it in, and the two of them caused it almost a mega bid, caused it to just jump up to that upper limit, and everyone else was like, "Whoa, I'm not going near that price." So
I'm not going near that. Yeah,
I think it was a case of two people wanted it and were ready to put the money down. Did put the money down. One person wanted it a bit more, threw a bigger, had a bigger figure as their top end, and that's how we seen that, and that's why no one else came back in for it, I suppose. Who the winner was, we'll never know at the moment.
We'll never know. Maybe we will know. If you're the winner out there, I mean, the listener could be,
if someone listening to this has won it, just shoot us a DM and let us know. Say, "Hey lads, that was me," and tell us
off the record.
Yeah, you can. It can be off the record. If you don't want it to be on the record, say, "Hey, off the record, here it is."
Right. So that's a massive sale for Lamine Yamal. Massive
was
sale
it you?
For soccer. I couldn't say. I'm just. I have to get some cards to go up on these bookshelves, but
you're more of a Wayne Gretzky guy.
More of a Wayne Gretzky guy myself. Yeah.
Brilliant.
It'll be very interesting to see how the careers of Paul Skeens and Lamine Yamal
definitely
go over the next.
And like Paul Skeens is a pitcher, right? Am I right in saying that?
Pitcher,
he's not a big hitter.
Right, yeah. No.
So I think that kind of stands against him as is.
Yeah. In fact, the pitcher bias is so pronounced. The anti-pitcher bias is so pronounced in baseball cards that somebody commented on our last video to tell us about Shohei Ohtani and say that his pitching cards go for less than his hitting cards.
That's mad, isn't it?
Even though, of course, he's a member of the 50-50 club or whatever that is.
And at the start of this auction, there was a 40-40 club ball of Shohei Ohtani's that was auctioned off.
Yeah. So you can imagine what it's going to be like when it gets to 60-60. I actually would say his 50-50 stuff will do better than his everything up to 100 if he ever gets to 100.
I don't think 100 is even... Like, is that possible in the same season? Is that the 50?
I have no idea what
I think it's the same season. I think it's the same season. 50 home runs, 50 strikes or something. Or no, 50 bases stolen, I believe, is the two.
Oh, wow. Incredible.
So I think that's definitely the same season, I would imagine. But at the moment, I think he has 59 bases stolen and 54 home runs. So if he can, I don't know anything about baseball, people. But if he gets 60-60, that'll be fascinating because the 50-50 set came out. So that'll be... But I know what you're saying.
Sounds better. Like it's like...
Yeah, he's the first person, I think, ever to do a 50-50 season.
That's right. Yes. I know that for a fact.
Yeah. So he's definitely not the first to do 50-50 all time, if you know what I mean, obviously.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
That's right. Whether they count postseason, regular season, I don't know. Jason, I don't know. Get me off this. This is what happens when you don't filter soccer. This is what happens when you don't filter soccer. I get distracted.
So, okay. 20...
Huge bit.
No,
Jesus.
what is it?
Banana.
$19,000 below, $18,500 below Lamine Yamal is the 1-on-1 Messi dynasty, one of the 1-of-1 Messi dynasties in the Barcelona kit, with the Catalan flag wrapped around the Champions League trophy is the picture. $103,000, well, $101,000. Massive sale.
Huge, crazy, insane.
Bigger than I thought Dynasty was going to get. I'm willing to hold my hands up and say that.
1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000,000%. That's the
didn't see this one coming.
Bizarre. Obviously, the biggest cards were always going to be Messi. We knew that, but that's mental. There was a really good Instagram account that posted I think they're set up to kind of show you something like that and then tell you where it's from. So it mentioned, maybe it wasn't that card, maybe it was a different card, but it was showing it was this image is from this game, and it showed some highlights of the game. This kit is from.
I've seen this. Yeah,
it looked really good. It was a good way of putting it together. But either way. That is insanity for a Dynasty card produced in 2024, even though it's 2022-23. Yeah, just mental.
Yeah.
Crazy. Messi's obviously Messi, but still crazy.
That's it's an incredible piece. It's an incredible card, but it's also an incredible price. Congratulations to whoever submitted that for sale.
It was hit by US Soccer Breakers, I believe, as well.
Right, okay.
Cyrus and the boys, I believe, hit that, yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Phew.
Crazy.
Okay. What's next on the old soccer thing? Oh yeah, we go down, I think, to Mbappe, $51,240 for a PSA 9 red refractor from 2017 Champions League Chrome. Enzo, you recently learned an interesting fact about Champions League Chrome from 2017 and Prism from 2018.
My God. So someone had wonderfully asked us the question of what would be the main Mbappe rookie card if we were buying him, whatever.
Yeah.
And Jason made a throwaway comment, which was, a strike of genius, saying, we don't remember, we weren't around in 2017-18, so maybe the 2017-18 Chrome probably released so late into the season that it was actually very close to work with Prism or whatever. And then we kind of left it there. And I had just the kind of the curiosity of going, that's probably true.
Yeah, you had the wherewithal to check.
So I went and checked, and apparently, according to Cardboard Connections, which may or may not be accurate, I should have cross-referenced this before we say it, but according to Cardboard Connections, the official release date of 2017 Chrome and 2018 World Cup Prism were 9 days different. Wow. 2017
That's
Chrome
incredible.
Came out 9 days prior to World Cup Prism, and that's World Cup Prism Hobby. I'm not sure. There's every chance that Panini had some retail products dropping prior to that, maybe in stores. I know sometimes nowadays kind of Hobby comes out and then the retail kind of comes out, but I do think if you're in America and there's Walmart and stuff, I think Walmarts and like that kind of do have it prior to Hobby. They have retail, they have mega box and stuff, fat packs maybe. So there's every chance. Like, to be honest, regardless of every chance, if the Hobby boxes came out officially 9 days apart, I never want to hear about PSG Mbappe again.
Yeah.
Nice as it is. I mean, it's fine.
But
I would never, like, as a personal preference, I would be all over the 2018 World Cup Prism and winning World Cup as the rookie. I wouldn't denote them differently at all.
Right. So that I would agree with that. Obviously, the 2017 is still a great card, and this is.
I mean, it's the inaugural set. It's amazing. Like, yeah, it's always going to have a premium, and I still think that 101 from that set is going to be crazy. Because in fairness, I just think first year Topps Chrome Champions League, based on what Topps Chrome Champions League has kind of become, is always going to be iconic. But I just think there should be less of a debate between the two, and I think both should be held. Because I feel at the moment people put more respect on Topps Chrome these days.
I agree. People kind of like counter the 2018 Prism with the 2017 Topps Chrome, which it never sat right with me. And then if these release dates that we're talking about are correct,
you have absolutely.
And it's like, come on,
put more respect. Although that does look beautiful, by the way. There was some crazy. Like, I think obviously, this was crazy. I think that Charles Clare red is incredible. What a sale that is, by the way. Image variation. That Messi superfractor in the bottom right hand corner, I think, matched maybe a Messi red from first year Chrome.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Or maybe bettered it in price, and I thought that was crazy because obviously, like, that's a beautiful card. It's incredible, but it's like that is actually
brand new.
44,000 on that card is a bit mental. But at the same time, it's like, because people say, "Oh, you can't do this every year," and but it's like, if the demand is 40 grand,
what if you can? Yeah.
It's like if every year there's like a 20 grand plus, because it'll reduce as time goes on. But like
if there's a Messi superfractor auto that's going to be at least 20 grand every year, then that's a big selling point for the product, which is not really talked about that much.
Yeah. The Noirs I thought were interesting above that as well, 45,000 as well. I think obviously not 101s, but they are on-card autos and they are old school, so I kind of prefer them. But at the same time, it's like we're seeing 101s in soccer, something's happening. For the desirable high end, there is now more money in the market. That's it. And we're seeing the benefit of what a 101 quote unquote is.
Yeah. I wouldn't expect those 45,000 for each of the Noirs. That's an amazing price.
Can I say for those Noirs?
Yeah.
No, sorry, if you can go back up. Sorry. For those Noirs, the Panini thing is on different sides of it, if that makes sense, because these were like redemptions, I believe.
Yeah, yeah.
The one on the right, I prefer, like with the ball not going towards the sticker. Do you know what I'm talking
about? Me too. Yeah, it does appear like the one that has the ball going towards the sticker is upside down.
Yeah,
because I always think you put the Panini sticker at the top of the.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I prefer the one on the right. That would annoy me, like the one on the left, a little bit, but obviously not that much. I would love to own that card.
Yeah, well, someone paid $2 more to have it that way, so there's
crazy.
They voted with their money.
For them to vote 45,000 is insane, considering they were ending at the same time. That is actually like the Messi market needs some looking into. That 10 of 10, that's what I was talking about there. 10 of 10, 40,000 is a bit mental when you consider it's 43,000 for the 101 from this year, as opposed to I know it's of 10, but a red first year should have a big demand, I would imagine.
I would not have expected $41,480 for the Zlatan, Messi, Ronaldo Super Factor Triple Auto. That again is an incredible prize.
Think about this, Jason. If someone hit that and messaged you and said, "What's it worth?" But you know what I mean? Because it's like it's not worth 10 grand. Like someone will give you more than 10. That's kind of where I would start.
Yeah.
Beyond that, I don't know what you would get for it. Because you think like at 15, I think I would personally know a couple.
Yeah, it's a 5-figure card, but you don't know.
Right. But you don't know how high up. So obviously auction. Yeah. Golden got some big results in this auction for soccer.
They absolutely did.
Seems like there's high end collectors in soccer that are happy to drop 40 grand. Oh, you can't skip
look at these Messi eminences. No. I still don't understand. That's too low.
No, that's how they sold them, I believe. But like, and there was so many Messi. But you just skipped over Jude Bellingham 101, Jason. Look at that.
Jude Bellingham 101 from inception.
38,000.
Yeah, 38,000.
That is interesting. It'll be interesting to see what a Yamal 101 inception does to really compare those two.
I just want that Jude Super Factor
to go to auction. But
the
Eminence Rainbow was a crazy way to sell them. Or more so, to be honest, I think it was just a crazy auction to throw them in. They need it to be like lot one of a smaller auction, I think.
Because they're phenomenal. Like they're like
whoever bought them is laughing.
Yeah. Because you're telling me I can get each of these rainbows, like, and it's compared to the 23-24 Super Factor Auto. He won the World Cup. Those are like on-card autos from the World Cup that he won.
Insanity. Yeah,
I get 3 of them.
I honestly think as well, and this is a conspiracy there, but I feel like the Topps products performed better than Panini product in this auction.
I think so too, yeah.
Because that's stupid. But like, is that market sentiment? Like, are we experiencing the shift from BGS to PSA kind of in real time, where it's kind of like the high-end collectors that are entering now are like, oh, but Fanatics /Topps are the guys. What's that, Panini? I don't really...
Yeah, this did kind of feel a little bit like a sort of changing of the guard in terms of soccer, where Panini has always had the upper hand.
Yeah, they've always had this premium, and people are always like, I actually prefer Panini, but it's like, for Super Factor, and again, I think that Messi Rainbow was messed up. They should have just had the Messi as a 101 and put up a 101 Eminence. I honestly think it does better than 36,000. Because like the Rainbow, you had to kind of see it was a rainbow, if that makes sense.
No, I know. But
the auction was so busy, and all of the Eminences selling at the same time obviously isn't going to help it. There was there was Eminences, Jason. If you go through it, there's Messi Eminences. I think that did $6,000.
Right. Yeah.
Because there was literally 15 of them at the same time.
Some great F1 sales in here, by the way. The Haaland doing $31,000 for the 101 Dynasty with the Manchester City patch.
It's genuinely mental, though, isn't it?
Crazy stuff going on.
I mean, you mounted 30,000 the red. For an extra $6,000, you could get the Messi World Cup Eminence on card auto trio.
Yeah, look, I mean, okay, I know obviously it's not like
it's a rookie. That is a bit different, but it's not.
It's a rookie and all that stuff, but like,
come on, people. But the Messi flawless, yeah.
What's going on?
But to be honest, no, they've always been about 26 to 40,000. Like they've never, you know what I mean? Like they
never ascended.
No, like when that for the longest time that was a big soccer card that was a non-rookie. If you know what I mean? It was yeah. If you want a Messi flawless, you have to spend 25 grand. It's like, whew. But like that's why the Dynasty is insane.
The game.
Yeah, but it's top 15. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the Noirs that went for 45 a piece. They were off 25.
That's weird. But the Noir, now obviously this is different, but like I think the Noir looks incredible. But like that doesn't matter.
I think it looks incredible as well. But like
flawless has always been flawless. I know.
This is trying to map this one out.
But 25,000 for a Topps Chrome Super Factor that was just made last. You know what I mean? The people, because that's the thing.
What's going on here?
But that's it. There's weirdness going on in the market, I think. But
this auction is an incredible performance for 2023-24 Topps Chrome.
Yeah, is that
UEFA club competitions?
Is there a conspiracy theory hat on there, or is that the new song?
I don't know. I'm starting to feel some 5G signals coming in.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it's either some conspiracy shit, or it's kind of the newest wave of people that are going to get burned. If you know what I mean. Like the same way when the hobby boomed in COVID, people ran to Prism Basin and all got wrecked. It's like, have people run to this and it's like, what's the best set? And it's like, well, Topps Chrome is the best set. And it's like, oh yeah, what's the best card? Super Factor. And then they're going, all right, 25 grand on this. And then in a few years, they're going to go, oh, fucking shite. And then, because it's that, but then like that Rooney Ronaldo goes to auction again. You imagine it'll be below 25. But at the same time, it's like, again, I feel like I know people that would spend 10 on it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, and you know people that spend 15. No, but I'm saying 15. It go like if you know someone that'll spend 10, chances are someone else will spend more than 10. So it's kind of got, and eventually 25 must be like the price pretty much.
It still seems high to me. But listen, I'm
No,
not
I
the
know.
high end collector that bought it, so that's
No, it is. I
it
think
wasn't me.
I know what you're saying. It does.
I'm saying it's giving me like a bit of the
heebie-jeebies.
heebie-jeebies here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like Victor Wembanyama Gold Sparkle, is that to 10? I assume it's a 10. Panini Gold 10 to 15.
Yeah.
Can you just hover over?
No, it's
24.
not.
Oh, wow.
Off 24. Off 24. Not gold. Okay.
Yeah, never mind. That was but like the top Chrome basketball. That's the 10, right?
The
Wemby.
Yeah.
Right. If that had been like significantly higher than the other one, I would have been like, oh, come on.
So you compare that to the off 10 Lamine Yamal, which is also a 10-10.
Okay, the licensing comes into that, though, is the only thing. But that's an
the
on-card
licensing
all.
comes in, but then you go, that's an on-card.
That's basketball.
That's Victor Wembanyama versus basketball versus, you know what I mean?
Yeah, soccer performed well. Let's talk about
soccer.
Obviously,
crazy well.
There's weirdness going on. Another Charles Leclerc red. That's a red. It's not a pad, right?
Yeah.
Fascinating. Half the price of the image variation. That is.
Look at that. Look, there's a 1-on-1 RPA, I guess, from Museum, graded authentic with an auto 10, going for $19,520 of Lamine Yamal. This was Lamine Yamal's crowning moment.
Look to the left. Look to the left.
Oh, there's a Steph
for the same price. Steph Curry.
Yeah.
PSA 10. Obviously to 999 or whatever, but like you see that Steph Curry card all your life, being told this is it. This is the pinnacle. One of the pinnacles. Yeah, no, that's a mad. There's another, or there is. Do you know what it is? There's another Lamine Yamal up for auction.
Yeah,
there's another Lamine Yamal 101 up for auction from it wasn't in this auction. It's coming up in the next. I think in the weekly. Someone for whatever reason threw a 101. I think it's a select maybe.
Right,
but it's like a Barcelona patch. Looks really nice.
I'm very interested to see how that does, because we're obviously speculating there might be some sort of change in sentiment from Panini towards Topps, but there's some incredible sales here. We can't go through them all, but
they did it.
But they did it, yeah. So congratulations to everyone who made a sale.
I am sad to not highlight the rest of those. What do you call them? The rest of them eminences, but I also think
people can go on.
There's an overwhelming amount of data, you know.
Yeah.
But
headlines from the Golden.
We've never set ourselves up properly to bid on Golden. Do you feel like you would have likened to be in the mix in that auction, or do you think? Not the high end. I'm saying an Eminence Messi for about $6,000.
Yeah.
Or like I think there was other dynasties for about $6,000, but like I think I'd be chasing that Eminence as opposed to the dynasty.
I think I'd be going for, if it's Messi, I'd be going for the Eminence over the dynasty.
It's the game used. I think that I don't know.
Well,
do you have on the docket today, Jason, the Dynasty Black?
I do, yeah.
Okay, yeah. That was a lot to be.
There's a lot going on with this Golden auction. The headlines are soccer is doing really well. Top soccer is doing really well. There's a lot of high end demand out there for soccer, and Messi is
on fire.
On fire, yeah.
As is Lamine
Yamal.
And they're probably somewhat connected. You know, it's almost like, I think you might use this before, but it's like Messi is the sun and he's dragging Lamine Yamal around the solar system. There's a gravitational pull there that's like, if Messi's on fire, Lamine Yamal's not far behind him at the moment.
Yeah. Lamine Yamal is one of Messi's moons.
That's right.
So listen, I don't know. We'll people can draw their own conclusions, do their own research on that, but it's interesting stuff. I want to go from the high end to kind of the low end, you might say, or the medium end, which is a headline I saw from the UK, across our friends across the water there in the UK. Online retailer eBay, you may have heard of them, scraps fees for private sellers in the UK. Online retailer eBay has scrapped, this is on The Guardian, has scrapped fees for private sellers across almost all of its categories in an attempt to keep fast-growing rivals such as Depop and Vinted at arm's length. The move means eBay's UK sellers no longer have to pay transaction fees except for cars, motorcycles, and other vehicles. You can now sell cards on eBay in the UK without seller fees if you're a private seller.
What does a private seller mean? You're not a business?
It means you're not a shop.
Can we
downgrade our
can we become not a shop?
Well, we're not in the UK, and I guarantee you this doesn't apply to eBay Ireland.
No, come on. After all the years of eBay Ireland being treated like eBay UK, come on.
No, I don't think so. I just don't see it.
I feel sick.
So this is very interesting. So on Tuesday, eBay said its move, which has taken effect immediately, meant private sellers would no longer pay so-called final value fees or regulatory operating fees A survey for the website suggests an estimated 294 million unused items across the UK could generate blah, 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 blah. Okay, when eBay's German site dropped selling fees last year, it reportedly gave a boost to the business. The company claimed that not only did more people start selling there, but as a result, more than 250,000 German sellers started buying, and they ended up buying twice as much as buyers who do not sell. I didn't quite understand that, but basically,
That makes sense.
you can... yeah, I think you can now sell on eBay in the UK and in Germany without
like a final value. There's still an insertion fee or whatever, but it's basically instead of 13%, you're probably down to like 3 or 4 or 5.
Yeah, I guess so. It's really good, really good news for something like the hobby, where eBay has been losing a lot of ground.
Yeah, for no reason other than their fees, pretty much. And to be honest, listing has been difficult. I was hearing that eBay are actually working on like an AI to help listing cards specifically. So basically, when they see an image of the card, the AI will fill in all of the kind of generic information that needs to be filled in. Like, this is tops, this is this year, da da da. But like basically using AI in an actual functional way to make listings faster. So there you go.
That'd be interesting.
Because that's all friction that's slowing down people kind of maintaining themselves in the hobby.
Well, I saw in reaction to this, people were saying like, "Oh, that's great. There's no fees. Now I might finally get my stuff together and go and list it." Because there is that thing of like, the fees are almost a disincentive, and then another disincentive is you have to actually go and do it and create the listings and all that stuff.
That's why ComC has thrived so much. It's like you send it to them, they do all that. You just pick a price.
Yeah, and I mean, people, like, you may think if you sell a lot of cards or if you've been on eBay for a long time, you may think, well, like, it's eBay, like, it's great visibility and it's it's 13% or whatever. But like, when we tell you that this is a major sticking point and has been for a lot, people are so resentful of eBay fees.
Yeah.
Which I get, because if you're not selling a card every week or you're not selling multiple cards every day or whatever, then selling one card every 6 months for a few hundred quid, 13% becomes like, hey,
yeah,
this is kind of a special event for me, and you take my money.
Could this? I'm going to flip it. Could this negatively affect card shows, Jason?
Could this negatively affect card shows? Wow.
No,
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
No.
But as I said, there people are like selling. That mean, you said it didn't necessarily. You didn't want to read it again, but it's like, I'm now listing on eBay and selling because there's no fees, and now I'm just actively on eBay, and now I'm buying. That's what they were saying.
I see what you're saying. It brings users to the back to the platform.
Yeah, once you're on it, and if you're in it enough to sell, you're probably also a buyer. I think that's what it's basically saying. You're like more of an active buyer.
You're searching for comps. You're trying to figure out what else is out there.
You're seeing
kind of involved.
Like, I don't think it's a direct effect of my fees are 10% cheaper, so I have another 300 quid to sell. Like, I don't think it's that. I just think more people actively on the app. You're gonna, if you deleted eBay off your phone, Jason, you'd buy less on eBay.
That's true. This is absolutely true.
That is a fact.
It's kind of hard to sign in on a browser.
That's right.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that this has been driven, because we've talked about this before on the show, but like, we talk about eBay as like a hobby platform and like selling cards on eBay, but they've done this in reaction to, according to themselves, in reaction to Vinted and Depop as secondhand clothes and all that stuff, which is a huge market for eBay, clothes and shoes and all that stuff being sold on these other apps that are specifically meant for, they're not talking about Whatnot, they're not talking about whatever else, they're not talking about ComC, they're talking about these other categories, and trading cards are kind of just been brought along. But in our minds, eBay is primarily a trading card selling platform, which is completely not the case.
100%. I think Depop has been super successful.
Yeah.
Easy to use. It's kind of smooth. So yeah, I understand why they're trying to regain ground, because it is that thing. I've said this before on the podcast. Like, if eBay just reduced their fees, there's no incentive for anyone else to compete with them. The way there's so many upstarts trying to compete with them now, it's like the big sticking point and selling point for other people to set up is, our fees are 8%.
Yeah.
Therefore, you save money.
And at a certain point, and we've talked about this actually as it applies to sellers on eBay or sellers in general, but it's like, at a certain point, you're losing more money through not making sales or not having users than you are on charging everyone a 13% fee. It's kind of the size of the pie versus the size of the slice of the pie.
It's competition benefiting consumers. That's what we're seeing here.
Yeah, that's right. So the free market triumphs once again. Just to make a quick note that tomorrow, Women's Chrome is out.
Okay.
And we've already previewed it on the show, but we can talk about it when it comes out. But this is the hobby box.
On my tea.
And then this is the design.
I think was that Ada Hedberg as well, and then
It was Ada Hedberg was there, yeah, and then
Georgia Stanway. Yeah, there we go.
So interesting stuff. Women's Chrome, Enzo, has kind of, I would say, lost a bit of momentum as a product, both on the resale market. We've bought a large number of the 1-on-1s, bought and sold a large number
That's
of the
right.
1-on-1s from the 2 years of the sets. Is there anything that is it inevitable that the product's going to lose steam, the license is going to lose steam, or like what needs to happen for Women's Chrome to get a bit of reinvigoration, do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we still have cases that we bought last year, so that doesn't help, obviously. Is it purely a price point thing? Maybe. I mean, that's it. It's supply demand, right? So right now we need either more demand or less supply. And it makes sense for the companies to want to kind of maintain the supply and be steadily increasing the supply from kind of a corporate point of view. But at the same, and obviously they're kind of hoping the demand will catch up. You know what I mean? That's what they want. Like if they overproduce, they're like, yeah, that's grand because in 3 years' time, there's going to be people buying it and they're going to be happy about it and whatever. I don't know. I don't know if I want to say lower the price, reduce the print, because like it's a weird one. If you reduce the print run of Chrome, Topps Chrome, to a point where every hit is, to 99 or less,
yeah,
which is probably where it should be, by the way. Let's say 50 or less. Let's say like you're guaranteed a gold at worst in a box of Chrome. Therefore, the print run is really small. Then it would almost become the opposite, whereas like it's a hot product, and now become the price actually go up, but it'll also not be accessible at all for anyone, because now it's like you rip a case of this, you're getting a 101. This is class. Everyone's having a bit of fun. But yeah, to be honest, like the first year set is kind of a grail set, that first year Chrome. But even that, I'm pretty sure you can pick it up for like $230.
I think
250 maybe. So it's like, even though like year one had a lot to it, like a lot of kind of aura to it, but at the same time, if you look at the pure financials, it's like that didn't even particularly go crazy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
so
no,
it's
I think it's like women's soccer cards it's a very collector driven market.
Yeah.
And you meet a lot of collectors who more or less have been able to get what they wanted, or know where the stuff they want is, or it's a small community, so it does feel like it's a collector driven market. And at the moment, the industry is not, I would say, collector facing. It's kind of like speculation facing. It's like we're in kind of the lottery ticket, that kind of thing. So, and you can't really imagine Topps coming up with a Topps Now 1-of-1 auto chase in women's soccer that would lead to
pandemonium.
There is none that would lead to like 100,000, 200,000, 500,000 cards being sold. So if that's what the hobby is prioritizing, is those big chases, and women's soccer doesn't really have them, and you can't price it. You can't just like have this pricing strategy all throughout all your Topps releases and then completely abandon it for women's Chrome just because that's a different market. But should you? Maybe you should.
Yeah.
Maybe women's Chrome should be treated more like cricket or something, or more like WWE or whatever.
But do you think reduce it like they did with SPFL to a non-chromium set? Is that what you're suggesting at all?
I mean, I do think a year off Chrome would be healthy.
I think it's print run. Like in the short term, it's print run. It's like you almost have to reduce the print run and maintain the price that you have it at. That way, it's better value. It's like, I know most hobby boxes are not good value. If anything, all of them are not good value. But it's like with women's Chrome, I don't know. Like, so I don't think like if you took that box, priced it at €60, say, I think you'd be selling it very, very well.
Yeah,
yeah.
60 quid. I get me auto. I get a few color, bit of fun. But obviously, does that impact Topps Chrome brand if they were to do that or whatever? But I think it's like this kind of refusal to adjust on one of the two things. It's either price or it's print run. But I think print run is easier than price, because I think price you'd have to really drop it, which could look terrible on the brand. Shortening the print run enriches the product. Like, just you can keep the checklist the same, add more color per box. Do you know what I mean? Like, really make it like color. You know what I mean? When you're ripping it.
Yeah.
Because the print run is tighter. But I don't know.
I think it definitely needs a bit of the Bundesliga treatment, I think.
Kind of. But even the Bundesliga hasn't got that treatment fully. Like, Bundesliga Finest had a lot of color, but like the boxes themselves haven't necessarily.
Well, but Bundesliga this year was much stronger in terms of the hits you could get, the 60th stuff.
Yeah, true.
Bundesliga Midnight, Bundesliga Sapphire, all that kind of stuff was stronger.
I get what you're saying. It's almost like they've got into year 3 without addressing the fact that they need to fix it. Whereas like Bundesliga, they ran it to the ground and said, right, let's improve it.
Yeah, I do think like, and this may be, I sense a lot of kind of like, I'm not really picking up
Excitement.
excitement and increase in interest. Like there aren't people who weren't interested in women's soccer cards. Say the London Card Show. We're going to the London Card Show in November. It's not necessarily people who we saw at a London Card Show 18 months ago who weren't interested in women's soccer. They're not then coming up and saying, I've heard about this women's, it's the same. The community isn't necessarily growing at the same rate as the number of cards out there are growing.
True. Because I think last year they obviously had Sapphire with Chrome as well, and they have Blasters as well.
Yeah.
So there's a lot. Because I think first year there was no Blasters, I don't think, at all. So it went from
it was hobby only.
Hobby only, then it was Blaster and Sapphire.
Yeah.
And now this year, you'd probably expect the same. I don't think we have Break Crystalite or Jumbo or anything like that. I don't think.
Right.
But I don't know. I know what you're saying. There's less excitement. I'm looking forward to ripping a few boxes, don't get me wrong, and seeing what the Kate McCabe image is and, having a bit of fun with it.
Yeah.
There's some rookies in it, but it's not remarkable. I think Linda Caicedo is the main chase.
Yeah.
But and I honestly thought she had cards over. I mean, maybe from the World Cup. I don't know.
She does, yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. But I am feeling like less excitement. Even like I'm in some of the women football soccer groups, and I don't particularly feel like they're losing their mind excited.
There wasn't. Yeah.
So
you mentioned Dynasty Black. Let's go over to Topps Ripped to see what that's all about. Introducing Topps Dynasty Black, the biggest moments, the best cards. There's a picture of Shohei Ohtani. And here's a picture of the Shohei Ohtani Topps Dynasty Black card, 50th stolen base pants. There's a patch there from his pants. Topps Dynasty Black is more than just a new card. It's an innovative leap forward, pushing the boundaries of what collectors can expect from premium card releases. Since 2014, Topps Dynasty has represented the pinnacle of high-end collecting, offering fans unique relics and autographs to the biggest name in sports. Topps delivers an even greater premium experience with Dynasty Black, offering auto relic cards that memorialize some of the most important milestones in baseball history. Why does it matter? Topps Dynasty Black is a game changer for collectors who want to own a piece of history. Each card in the Topps Dynasty Black series doesn't just represent the player, it encapsulates a significant moment in their career and baseball history, making it more than just a card. It's a bit, okay, they've said that like 15 times. It's a piece of history. So this is basically a mixture of Topps Dynasty and it's sort of Topps Now situation.
Yeah, kind of. It's
so it's memorializing specific moments and specific achievements,
but it's also taken the main thing. I think the most interesting is the relic itself is from that experience.
It's from the specific event. Yes.
Yeah. If you scroll up to the kind of the image, I like that they've kind of found a way to almost super factor Dynasty card. If you know what I mean, those little designs kind of give you that similar gold vinyl vibe to it. I like the idea of this because this is like a continuity thing. It's going to pop up in a variety of different sets, so they say. The first experience of that set was this like purposely created Shohei Ohtani. So I hope it's not all going to be like that, where it's like, if Lamine Yamal scores a hat trick in the Champions League final, they're not going to go Lamine Yamal Champions League final set and then throw in the Dynasty Black. Like I'm hoping it's like in Museum next year, you can hit a Dynasty Black of a moment that happened a few months ago. I'm hoping it's more like that. I like the idea of it popping up in Dynasty itself. Like imagine if it's like Dynasty and you're moving the thing and you see a black card, you're like, fuck. That would be fun. That would be exciting. I like it. There was a big debate, Jason. One thing I asked at the start of the show if it was on the docket is one of the debates were from a lot of people, and I want your opinion on this. They were saying, why not give this set a different look, different name? Have you not just reduced what Topps Dynasty has been a sentiment out there? Like you've just created something above the Topps Dynasty with the same name. So now it's like Dynasty Black is better than Topps Dynasty. It's a BGS pristine black label. What's a 10 mean now? That kind of thing. Do you think that is correct? They should have named it something else? Or do you think kind of they're viewing this as the most premium version of a card that can be made basically by Topps? So is it being linked in with Dynasty kind of like a super factor benefits Topps Chrome as opposed to belittles everything else in Topps Chrome? Do you think Dynasty Black does that, or do you think it should have had a different look, different name?
I think it's the same situation that we talked about last time with the only one insert or the only one hit going into summer signings and other e-commerce sets. I think it's an example of inflation, hobby inflation. It's like you're telling me, you're telling me as a one of one is a one of one, and then you're telling me what a real one of one is. You're telling me that Dynasty is the most premium set known to man, and then you're telling me there's something more premium than that. And the thing is that, okay, you're telling me Dynasty is the most premium set anyone's ever come up with, and then you're telling me Dynasty Black is even more premium than that, and I have absolutely no faith that in 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, you won't come up with something else and tell me it's more premium than Topps Dynasty Black. So I think there is an element of discipline, of self-control, of, you know, being that kind of central bank and being in charge of inflation and having a responsibility to not just keep, you know, widening the bottom of the pyramid. I think you have that kind of, you're printing the money, but you're also controlling the money supply, that kind of thing going on. If you're Topps, and I do think this is a little bit undisciplined and a little bit sloppy and a little bit having your cake and eating it.
Right.
So although I like the idea, I don't understand why there can't just be a Topps Dynasty Black card as a chase in the Topps Dynasty release.
Right. That's what
I'm saying.
Kind of like I undermines Top Dynasty a little bit, because this is like, these patches are actually from events. Do you know what I mean? Where it's like,
no, I don't think it doesn't just undermine Topps Dynasty. I'm saying it undermines the entire everything below Topps Dynasty. It's.
I know, but okay. So a couple of things, right? Topps Transcendent is definitely also one of their more premium sets, which I feel like they're probably confused themselves. What are we doing with Transcendent? Da, da, da. I think they had to use the Dynasty name to make the card immediately accepted, if that makes sense. It's like, you know, I mean, they could have, like, obviously for what it is on card and it's patched from a specific moment, specific game, grand, that's always going to be desirable. But I think they've basically borrowed Topps Dynasty's name to legitimize it immediately. Because like, even like only one, it's kind of like, who collects only one card? No one really knows. You know, whereas people collect Topps Chrome, they collect Topps Dynasty. So that's cool. So I actually like that. I actually think it was a good move to say
that's fine.
Topps
I
Dynasty
have no
Black.
problem with that.
I think it is good. But it is, and I think, to be honest, I think this is one of the better things Fanatics have done since they've taken over. Like, genuinely, I think they're saying we're going to actually take something from the moment, we're going to commemorate it, and not just as a Topps now, we're going to commemorate it as a premium card, and it's like, these should be some of the most. However, it does feel in the last 8 to 12 months that every week there's a new trinket. And that is becoming fatigable, I will say.
We've talked before on the show about the gimmickification of the hobby.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, we just seen the Topps now sell for 650,000. The inscription 50/50 101 chase in that.
Yeah, 650,000 copies sold.
So, but like at that time, it's like, this is the coolest card ever. Like, we're commemorating the coolest moment ever. And then next week, this is the coolest card ever. And also,
that's what I'm saying.
There's an entire Topps Chrome product being created. So it's like, you know, you squeezed. Basically, it's like, I don't know. I feel like you hit the 101 Topps now 50/50 set, and it's immediately outdated compared to you're kind of like, that's great, but it can't. But at the same time, it's like, that's like, it's smart. I just think it's like, if we look back to like the retro factors, and this is all baseball more so, retro factors, there was the Expos Tom Brady. Like, it just constantly feels like there's this huge chase, run. There's madness, there's franticness, get it, and then it's on to the next thing, get it. It just seems to keep happening almost. I think this is actually a really good move. I love the idea of it popping up in Dynasty. I really hope it's not like, in a huge moment like this, we're going to create a Topps Chrome product real fast and print it on demand. You know, that's like, I wish, like, if these just, and I know they said they want to release it as close to the event itself as possible. And I think that they've also cracked a bit of a code by knowing they can create this product and just put redemptions in if they have to. And they've also done that as like almost a safety thing too, where it's like, instead of putting a card that could be worth $1 million in a box, we'll give you a redemption, so it's all more secure. But it's also like a good way of using redemptions, where it's like, right, we can immediately make an on-demand product, and this is the card we're going to make. We've secured the memorabilia, or we're going to get the memorabilia, and we can just do it, and we know we can throw a redemption in and sort it out after a couple months, you know?
Yeah.
But I know,
I mean, it's obviously, it's a testament to how, and there's been lots of stuff the Fanatics have done since they come in that is a testament to how close their relationships are to the leagues, to the players' associations, to kind of like, you know, we don't do that, we can't do that. And then somebody at Fanatics from kind of Michael Rubin down saying, well, why not? Why can't we do it? Let's just do it.
Yeah.
So I do like that. But it does just like, I suppose it's taking that, the kind of feeling is, and we've seen this with the number of releases coming in, we've seen it with the number of Topps now and different commemorative things coming out and all that stuff. It's taking what was a season-long cycle with an off-season. So you've gone from a season-long cycle with an off-season to, that's the hobby is now week to week. It's a week to week. It's a 24-hour news cycle of the hobby.
It feels like a week cannot go by with a printer off. That therefore, if the printers are off, we're losing money. So we're doing it. And with all due respect, instead of getting ahead of it and keeping the printers on so releases are on time, They're just making more releases. Because to be honest, this I love this. When you look at like the Topps Mercury set that came out or is coming out, I don't like that. That's overkill. That's too much. What are you doing? $8,000 crazy. And it's like it's also like you've created a box that has 2 guaranteed Wemby autos. One's an RPA, one that is a Wemby auto. What have we been doing with all these other Topps basketball and all the Panini basketball? Like what have we been doing? Like this is just a pure bonus, I think. Like this, especially because they didn't release a set called Topps Dynasty Black that everyone had to buy. They're throwing it in. But I think when I seen that they were putting it into a purpose-built set, I was kind of like, financially, I think it's already sold out. Probably financially, it's going to be amazing. And I couldn't dream of a Topps Chrome set that every card is Ohtani. I don't know much about baseball, but that sounds like a bit of me. But even that, it was like the print run of that set was akin to probably like first year Topps Chrome Soccer. It's like a random kind of spin-off set can do that. It speaks to where we are in the hobby. But yeah, I like Dynasty Black. I think it's good. I like that it's called Dynasty, even though, because like say if Messi gets a Dynasty Black for doing something, right?
Yeah.
Does that impact his Dynasty cards? I think that's where people are kind of confused. But then if you called it something else, Top something else, is that more confusing? It's almost like when you're trying to bring someone into the hobby, it's like it's better to go, these are Dynasty, these are on card and they're game used. This is Dynasty Black, it's on card, game used from a specific game that we can trace, and it's a significant game. I like that. That's a good vertical.
Yeah, well, I mean, you've hit upon a good point there near the end, which is that if Messi gets one of these for doing something, that is a key factor. So one of the ways you can control this is, okay, you say we have this Topps Dynasty Black, we realize it could have an inflationary effect on the hobby, etc., right? Museum is going to be worth less because Dynasty is worth less because X, Y, Z. But if Messi, so there is no situation in which Messi can do something in the MLS that is akin to what Shohei Ohtani has done.
I don't think so. No, I mean, he could be the top scorer, like break a scoring record.
It wouldn't actually matter in any.
No, it wouldn't be the same. Wouldn't be the same
way. So one way you can do this is to very strictly limit the criteria to get a Topps Dynasty Black, and that again comes down to self-control and discipline and sort of integrity within the organization.
Do you think? Here's one. If Vinny Jr. scored a hat-trick in a Champions League final, do you think that would warrant, do you think he would get a Topps Dynasty Black? If they could pull off some memorabilia from him? Because I think he would. Now, I don't think he should have an entire set about that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I think this is specific.
If Vinny Jr. scores a hat-trick in the Champions League final, then okay, you score a hat-trick in a Champions League final, that could be worthy of a Topps Dynasty Black.
Definitely. I mean, to be honest, a goal in the Champions League final that wins the game could be. If you think of like when Zidane scored that incredible goal. Yeah. I know you're saying you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't, but like at the end of the day,
what I'm saying is, should Kai Havertz have a Dynasty Black for scoring against Man City in the Champions League final?
I think he should. That's exactly what I'm saying. If you got the memorabilia from that game. No, but think about it. You got the, like, he shouldn't have a Kai Havertz set. He should have that just thrown in. Because at the end of the day, if you're a Chelsea fan, and it's like, hold on a minute. That's from the kit when he scored the goal that won us the Champions League. Like, that is significantly significant.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, here, you look at these. So let's use the Ohtani cards they've given us as examples. So one of them is 50 at stolen bases. 50 stolen bases. One of them is 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases, so pants and glove patches.
Yeah.
And then another one is 50 home run batting glove patch, right? So that's a 50-50 thing. That is like a historic achievement that doesn't happen every season.
True.
So somebody scores the winning goal in every Champions League final.
That's right. Unless it's penalty shootout, kind of.
But then someone scores the winning penalty.
No. I get what you're saying now. You're saying this should be a bit more premium.
Genuinely historic. Not just like someone won the Champions League and you were the one who scored, but no one has ever scored 4 goals in a Champions League final before, and you did, so now you get one.
That's fair.
So that is another way. I'm like, if you want to print these, that's fine, but it has to be like, so using the recent Topps Now stuff, like the Messi Steph sleeping thing would not
would not warrant. What do you think about what do you think about Spain winning the Euros? Do you think winning a European Championship? I know that's not as historic as obviously something like this because this has never happened before. But like, cause they're once every 4 years, is it kind of like, do you know what? We'll do a Topps Dynasty Black for, because like I would love that for like Italy winning 2006 World Cup and stuff like that. So it's almost like a World Cup is warranting of creating Topps Dynasty Blacks, not sets necessarily. Akin like this one, I think Ohtani gets a set because he's Ohtani. That's fine.
Yeah,
but like to have them popping up in
I think if
Topps
you scored the
Dynasty,
winning goal in a World Cup final,
you're getting it. Like
you're getting one.
Topps Dynasty Black with his shirt off.
Yeah.
Do you think there should be a Topps Dynasty Grey for the kind of you scored a goal in Champions League final? You get
for the borderline
yeah,
ones.
for the in between.
Yeah. You see, I just think it gets into all sorts of stuff where, like, say Erling Haaland, his dynasty getting an amazing price at Golden because it was the treble winning season and all that stuff. So it's like, but if you would get into you're picking out specific goals and specific moments, then like what does a player is supposed to, like, his cards from a certain season can be desirable because of what he achieved that season in total. So I just worry that like the hobby's getting more and more and more specific.
What happens if he gets 60-60? If that's even, I don't know how many games there are left or whatever, but what happens if he gets 60-60, Jason?
Topps Dynasty Ultra Black.
Wow. Kind of a matte black.
Yeah. That's right. Kind of a, when you see, like they say that there's those rooms in science museums you can go into where it's all like it's the most black as black, and you can't see anything, that kind of thing.
I understand. Yeah, I mean, I like it, but I know what you're saying. We'll see how it gets used. But again, I like that they called it Topps Dynasty because I do think that raises the status of Dynasty as well.
I have no problem with Dynasty because
But I think it brings the rest of the Dynasty. Like if the most, like, say if this card sold for 10 million, right?
Yeah.
Then rich people at the higher end of the hobby are like a Topps Dynasty 101 Otani from this was 10 million. So like Topps Dynasty, it elevates that brand with it. I know we're saying if you put this in, it'll push everything down, but it's saying for Dynasty specifically, I think it brings it up as opposed to like, say if it was called like Topps Prestige or something like that. And it's like, oh, but that's over here. That's what I'm into. This Dynasty stuff is for kids. Do you know what I mean? Like if you're a high end.
Yeah.
So I think having it as the same name, I think is a good thing. And if they can slip them into actual Dynasty releases, that would be really fun to kind of be pulling it back and it's black. Oh my God.
Okay, but let me go.
That only works. That only works in a world where there's not loads of Topps Dynasty Black. Because in that case, it's like, I wonder what it's going to be. Whereas it's Otani. It's definitely Otani because they've only done. But I don't think, I think 50-50 is incredible. But I think Topps Black is not going to be as preserved as you would like. I think the big selling point of Topps Dynasty Black is we have the memorabilia from the event. The event itself doesn't matter, I don't think.
But here's one for you: if the memorabilia from that event can be put in every Topps Dynasty card is from something. Some of them are from training sessions.
Yeah, but I think that most of them are.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, it's like, okay, I'll go along with you, and I'll say that's great that this is from this event. So tell me what every Dynasty card is for, and I'll decide what's more valuable.
No, they're not going to do it.
So this is a Messi match worn from something somewhere that you don't know, or this is a Wayne Rooney training coat that you bought and because you didn't want to spend the money for the jersey. So I'm not allowed to kind of discredit you for that. You're going to charge me as if I was getting match worn, even though I'm not getting match worn, as we've demonstrably shown. But you're going to charge more for stuff. So when you can make money, you tell us specifically what it is. And when it's not to your benefit, you don't tell us. Yeah. And that's just dishonest.
But that's Topps Dynasty Black.
So I think, I'm happy to play all of these games, but the rules have to be set before we play, or else I'm not playing. I'm taking my ball and I'm going home.
That's fair.
Yeah. Listen, I wanted to finish with something.
Okay.
Because Cole Palmer became the first ever Premier League player to score 4 goals in a first half of a Premier League game.
Yeah, is he who we thought Mason Mount was?
I guess so. Yeah.
Unstoppable, undroppable.
He's who people thought Phil Foden was. And I just thought I saw this thing I was looking up. I was like, look, the BBC were asking questions about this, right, on their quiz. And I thought we could do your football week by quickly doing the BBC weekly football quiz.
Can I just ask, did you see Tim Sherwood doing the goal celebration?
I did see that. I love that.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things I've ever seen. Gonna do it.
Manchester City began their Carabao Cup campaign with a 2-1 victory over Watford. Which City player scored their first goal for the club in the win? Was it Nico O'Reilly? Was it James McAtee? Or was it Mateus Nunes?
I'm going to say Mateus Nunes.
I think so. I think it was too, but I don't know. It was.
Yes.
Very nice. League 2 side AFC Wimbledon had to postpone their third round Carabao Cup tie because their pitch was damaged by flooding. Which Premier League club donated £15,000 to help with their financial strain? Fulham, Newcastle or Villa?
I feel like Newcastle need a pure win, but I kind of feel like it's Fulham.
It was Newcastle, I think.
Oh, well, let's go. I'm happy.
First top, best top. I think it was. Yep.
Good.
Which Premier League team advanced to the fourth round of the Carabao Cup after beating League 2 Walsall 3-0 on penalties? Villa, Chelsea or Leicester? It was Leicester.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Danny Ward saved 3 penalties. Manchester United boss Eric Ten Hag faced his boyhood club FC Twente in the Europa League. How many times did he represent the Dutch side as a player? 234, 245, or 250?
234 maybe?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's go 234.
245 I feel like is
245? Middle?
Yeah, I feel like the 250, 245 they're throwing us off. I think it's 245.
250 has to be that's a red herring. They put that in.
Yeah, but the 234 and then it's 245. Come on.
It was 234.
First thought, best thought, Jason. We know this.
All right. Well, so Maria Summerside Mariona Caldente scored on the Arsenal debut as they beat BK Hacken. Where did she? Oh, Barcelona. Come on. We all know Mariona Caldente as Woso collectors here. What's going on? The BBC doesn't accept my answer. Oh, choose. Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Brentford's opener against West Ham made the first team to score in the first minute of 3 consecutive games. What? But who scored? Fabio Carvalho, Johan Wissa, or Brian?
Did you not see that?
Gotta be Mbemo.
They scored in the first minute of 3 consecutive games.
Well, I know that now. I just got the question.
Yeah, but that happened. I don't know. One of them was against United. I want to say Mbeno, yeah.
He's been having a fantastic season. I think it's him. Yeah, it is. Okay, Cole Palmer became the second Chelsea player to score 4 goals in Premier League for them twice. Who was the first? Didier Drogba, Frank Lampard, Eden Hazard.
Drogba.
It's got to be Drogba, doesn't it?
Yeah, he was always like, I remember all their 7-goal games, 100%. Lampard got a lot of goals. Hazard never got 4 twice. No way.
It was Lampard.
Frankie Lampard.
Come on.
You forget what he did from midfield, let me tell you.
Yeah. Liam Delap became the first Ipswich Town player to score twice in Premier League match since who in March 2002? Was it Marcus Bent? Was it Richard Naylor? Or was it Marcus Stewart?
Ipswich
Richard
Town,
Naylor is calling out to me.
All right, go with it. I'm not an Ipswich. I don't have the
neither
knowledge.
do I, but
No. Marcus Stewart sounds like a...
No, it was Marcus Bent.
We should have known with 2 Marcuses in there. One was right.
That's right. Tottenham Hotspur beat Manchester United 3-0 at Old Trafford on Sunday. Which visiting player created 9 chances for Tottenham, the most on record since 2003 in a Premier League game at Old Trafford? James Maddison, Dejan Kulusevski, Dominic Solanke. I didn't see it. Enzo, did you see it?
I was watching the full game.
Who created all those 9 chances?
To be honest, I was going to say Brandon Williams. The Williams fell on the right. Brandon Johnson.
Brennan Johnson.
I'm going to give it to James Maddison. Solanke was good, but he wasn't really in it. Dejan Kulusevski was in it, but was almost attacking more. I'm going to give it James Maddison. That's a bit of an obvious choice because he's the creative, but I do think he just had so much of the ball. But
you reckon Matters creating 9 chances?
I just whoever kept. I think Solanke in the middle, passing it to the right to
Brennan Johnson.
Yeah, I feel like I kept seeing that happen. But I'll go with Maddison. I feel like he was all over the pitch.
Solanke has patches, his first jersey patches in summer signings for Spurs. There you go. Matters, right?
I literally watched this game, so I'm devastated.
And was Dejan Kulusevski?
I'm devastated. That was bad, Jason.
55%.
To be honest, I felt like we did better than 55%, but I'll accept it.
So did I. So that could be a regular feature of the show. People enjoyed that.
That was good. Hopefully they do more of them. But that was like, I did watch that game, but to be honest, I feel like a lot of the Spurs players just look the same. They're wearing all white. They're all kind of skinny.
You're saying kind of Ange likes a certain profile.
I think so. It was all very... But there you go, Solanke. Oh no, it wasn't Solanke, was it? It was Kulusevski.
It was Kulusevski. Come on.
He scored a goal. Like, I couldn't believe it.
Let's leave it there for this episode of Soccer Cards Tonight. We're back on Thursday for episode 247. In the meantime, you can write to us with your thoughts on Women's Chrome, with Topps Dynasty Black, all that stuff. Yeah, we'll see you then. Have a great week, everyone.